Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we are looking at Pizzster's new Murray Lowboy. As you could tell from the title of this video, two things that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at all the options on them. And then once we do that and we have a good build, then we're going to take it out for a short drive. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we notice here on the chain type is we only have a single, not a double. And that's pretty typical for a Murray, actually. I don't know if they would... I've never seen a double, personally, myself. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, I just haven't seen it, so usually see these in a single type. This is a very wide trailer, and we have a couple other options to make it even wider too, at least the back part of it. If we go to the body, this is our standard, and if we choose the extended, what happens is it makes this part here where these rear axles are, it makes it wider. So I'll kind of pop over here and I'll choose extended, and that's what we see. It just gets a little bit wider. How does it look from over here? That looks like a pretty beefy trailer, even though it's got tiny wheels. I think these are 17s or 17 and a half. Pretty small, but lots of tires. See all those tires right there in the middle. But yeah, in terms of the body, again, here's standard. That's how it's narrow, and then extended. And you basically have the same thing here on the chassis. That's all it is here. Extended is wide, and this just takes it back to narrow. We're going to keep it extended. For the paint, they have a couple. They have a color changeable one, and it'll give you 4 different colors. I just chose one that's going to match this truck pretty nice. Just a plain and simple black and white. This is actually more like a gray. I could probably change that to be more like that. Maybe that'll match a little bit better. Alright, we'll get rid of the truck now because we need to look into the accessories. And there are a few for sure. I think the first one is going to be this tire holder, and I do have it selected. Here's what it looks like without it. And let me walk up a little bit closer. And my track IR is kind of throwing this off, but let me choose the tire again. Good. Let's get out of walk mode. And we also have this little box here. If I choose the toolbox, then it'll drop this toolbox built in here. Otherwise, this is what it looks like without it. And let's add it one more time. Next thing we have is the platform, and I've chosen the option to have this little broom and shovel. Of course, you could do away with that. I say throw it in there. Add some more details. I like it. In the neck, we could have a tapered front or a flushed front. And right now it's flush, and here is tapered. And then we have the wood pieces here on the neck. Do we want to make that light, or do we want to make that dark? We'll keep it dark so that it matches with this deck, and this note is right here. Again, light or dark, and you're probably going to have it match here on the neck which fits with the main platform here. The next node that you're going to see is going to be this toolbox. If you don't want it, that's what it looks like. Just a little empty compartment there. But let's add it back in because why not? The deck we've already done. Here's the side lights. And on the side lights here, you can have your own nodes. Go to town on it. You can have your own nodes where you don't have to put in nearly as many. Or you could just have the default ones. I normally don't like to add a whole lot of lights, but there's not a lot of there's not a ton of features on a trailer compared to a truck, so I'm not going to be taking a long time here in the shop. So I will be adding these. And we could start up here on the neck. I'm going to start right here. I'm not going to do this one. But this is kind of cool. You've got a left orange blinker. So these will, when you have your 4-ways on or your left blinker, all of these lights will come on. So I'm just going to go ahead and add those real fast. Oop, missed it. Let's get them back. Clicked on the wrong thing. And again, we are on the left side of the truck, so we're only going to pick the left orange blinker. Just something cool. And I think that's really cool too, to kind of draw some attention if we're gonna be, have a little bit of realism, because I didn't notice any option for any sort of strobe on the back of this trailer. And for this one, just to mix it up, let's go ahead and do a orange penny light. Tiny light. So now let's go and do this side, but remember, we're not doing left, we're doing right orange blinker. That one we're going to do orange penny light. Back to the right orange. And that's what she looks like. And these, they're not blinking right now, but they will with the turn signal and the 4 ways. So, nice little way to customize it. I like this option because you don't have to put in 40 different lights. I think we did like, 10, 15 lights. Not that big of a deal. So now these are all tire and rim options within. I don't really see the point to do it because you can't really see them anyway. And I believe these are the only ones that come with it. Oh, actually, no. So you got basic. We could do a dull finish, or we could do a polished. I think we're just going to go with the basic for right now. So that's pretty cool. So we'll leave that as it is. Whether we want this sign or not, we have a yellow oversized, we've got a yellow wide load, we've got a white wide load, and a white oversized. If that's the way you want to run it, we'll just go ahead and run it with a yellow one right now. So with this one here, instead of just making the whole thing wide, we can keep it wide, but this is talking about this ramp here. So if it's an extended easy load, it's going to look like this. See how it shortens it up there, right there? And the extended standard, you'll see this change right now. So that's pretty cool. And your ramps are actually tied on right there. Rear lights, I'm just going to go with default right now, but there also is a rear slot where you can add your own. I wonder if... I don't think that I have anything here for like a strobe, so that isn't going to help me. So I'm just going to go back with the default lights. Tire, rim, extended, we've already done that. Okay, license plate. Let's go ahead and pick that. I'm just going to slap Alaska on there, because I think I've got Alaska on the truck right now. Why didn't it choose it? Oh, there it did. And mud flaps, we're just going to stick with the Murray mud flaps, but there are 3 different templates that you can load for yourself. And by the way, these mud flaps, see right now the truck is kind of sunken into the ground, but the mud flaps, they aren't that tall. They're actually pretty short because these tires are not very tall at all. And that pretty much covers all of the accessories on the trailer. Decent amount, not a ton. It's not going to take you half an hour to build, but a decent number, and it's definitely a unique look. I love this wider Lowboy. So those are the options for the Pizzster Murray. Alright, so little bonus section. I am going to take you through all of the cargoes that come with the Murray trailer from Pizzster. Spoiler alert, I'm going through all of the loads right now, all of the cargoes. If you do not want to see that, go ahead and look in the description where you can see all the timestamps, and you can skip ahead to the next section. Otherwise, we're starting it now. All right, first cargo will be a dismantled John Deere. Dismantled just because it's so big, but this is definitely a newer one. We've got a Cat 982XE loader, also new. Nice details even inside the cab there. Factory Cat 775. This is the one that we took, except for this is a new version versus the dirty version that we took. Here's that one. That's what we... Only this... This is a cleaned up version as opposed to... This is a clean version as opposed to this dirty version. I like the realism though. Super dirty. We have a factory Volvo L350 bucket. Komatsu 155D. John Deere 180G. Actually hauled this. This was my first load out with it. I think it's about, I want to say it's about 50, 60,000 pounds. Komatsu WA 250. And we've got a Doosan excavator. Thing is big, but completely assembled. Komatsu BR 380. Boomag. Little roller. You can see this one looks a little bit more worn and used. Look at those details. So cool. I gotta get down here on the ground. Look at that. It's my track IR interfering. I'm trying to hold my head completely still so I can just move it with the mouse. But look at that detail. So cool. Alright, let's get out of this mode. Alright, a couple more going on. Caterpillar 325 excavator. Again, brand new. Detail in the cab as well. Liebherr LR 1250. Weights. Okay. That's different. I wasn't expecting that. It's a unique cargo. I like that. Nope. What happened? How do you say that? Wirtgen? Is that German? Wirtgen? WR 240? I don't know. I haven't seen that before, but definitely used. Wow. So much detail put into this for these loads. Just brings it to life, adds that extra little layer of realism. Komatsu HM300 dump truck. This one's brand new. So a lot of them are new, and probably about 4 or 5 of them were like used or dirty. And a Caterpillar D6R dozer, also brand new. That thing is a beast. That is an absolute beast. Alright, so those are all of the loads. And we're going to go ahead and take it for a short drive. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. We have our load. We're here in Bozeman, in Montana, and we're going to take a load of this. It's a 775G dump bed from Caterpillar, and we're going to take that down to Pocatello. It's about a 4-hour drive. Not too long, but it'll give us a good amount of time to check this out. Before we go anywhere, I'm going to spend a little bit of time actually looking at some of the details here. Some of the stuff that we didn't get to see in the shop. Well, we've got all these different stickers here and identifiers. Here's our shovel and broom. As always, everything's looking really good with this load and this trailer. I did want to mention too that the trailer, while it was in-game by Pizzster, is actually, the model was created by Hadborn. Almost forgot to mention that, but a lot of detail here. I'm sure that it was Pizzster or it was Damo that was actually doing the cargo itself, but the model of this trailer is Hadborn. And so you can see it. You can see the mud flaps now that it's not sunken down into the ground, which is just something that happens in American Truck Simulator. Let's go ahead and get going. We'll get to see it on the drive as well. Oh, almost forgot. Driving the Pizzster today, the 389. The skin on there is actually someone, if you go onto Pizzster's Discord, and he has a whole section for paints, and someone just named Dan. This one is a Black Beauty. I think there's a second version of it if you download it. I think the whole thing is called Wild Beauty, And this happens to be the white on black. There's also a black on white version, and it's just nice and simple, not too incredibly over the top or anything like that, but wanted to mention those before we get out of here. We've got Serial Black's Cat C-15 MXS 475 horsepower version, and we're going to rock a 15 speed. This 15 speed, I normally do it with Fury 6, but this 15 speed, well, I am actually using the gearbox layout file from Fury 6, but I'm not using one of his transmissions. This is actually one of the transmissions that comes with Pizzster's 389, and it is an initial gear of 16.9 and a final of 3.9, so plenty for hauling. This dump truck, or this dump bed, is 52,920 pounds. It's not too heavy, so we should be able to move along pretty well. Alright, parking brake is out. Got the GPS up there. Get the four ways on, and we will get the beacons on as well. You can see with the four ways on, it lights up the entire side of the trailer. It's pretty cool. That dirty dump bed. That is pretty dirty and pretty realistic. I like it. Make sure we got plenty of room. Forgot which way I came in already. Yep, she's lighting up pretty good in the mirror there. So something kind of funny, last time I was using this 389, I was using an 18 speed, and I'd done it a couple times whenever I get an 18 or a 13 speed. Get the four ways off here, and probably our beacons too. And I, instead of using the splitter like I normally would, I used the second stick for the splitter. I totally forgot that, and I threw the 15 in there, and the splitter wasn't doing anything. I wasn't... Normally you go splitter forward to get into those lower gears, into that deep reduction. And so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it the way it is. The second stick is, if I go backwards, it's like actually opposite, then I'm going to be in deep reduction, but I'm not even going to need it today because we got plenty of power here, and we're already on the blacktop. That dump bed is just huge back there. It adds so much more width too. Last time I carried something this wide, I clipped. I wasn't doing a recording. See, I'm just gonna have to make a note to go extra wide there. Ended up clipping a telephone pole. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that display up top since you can see my gear. The gear that I'm in right there on the dashboard. Right above the speedometer and tach. Slow it down to 45. Beautiful area of the map. Love Bozeman. Ooh, got to go extra wide. I still don't know. Not familiar with the clearances and everything on it. Probably figure it out by the end of the drive. We can get into 10 there. I don't think I'm going to hit the side rail if I stay about right here. And I got to also keep in mind, it's not only wide, it's tall. So it actually might go over that guardrail, but it would definitely clip a house if it's too close to the, or a building if it's too close to the street, or a telephone pole or something. Like I said, I've done that before. Got some windy roads here. A few windy roads. We'll get through this and then we'll get a little bit of get a few shots from the outside so you can see well, the main feature of the video. Did I put the window up? Yep, let's get the windows up. It's pretty loud.
Turn right.
Rolling stop. Don't have a whole lot of room for error left or right with this thing.
Continue straight.
What do you guys think of this trailer? For a lot of people that didn't know a whole lot about the Murray, then you're probably thinking, oh well, they already have a Lowboy, so why do another Lowboy? Well, this one looks a little bit different, obviously. If I can keep her on the road. Ooh, down to 35. Whoa. Totally looks like I was going to take it out.
Keep right. And then turn right. Turn right.
See if there's any car there. Whoa, just not paying attention to shifting. I gotta really pay attention because I am gonna end up clipping something. Let's get a little bit of a straight run here first. I know it says 25, but I'm almost out of it, so I'm just gonna... I don't see any cops. .65 is going to be our speed for this turn. Get another look at her. Pretty cool trailer. I got to bring her back in so I can see where I'm going. But just love the detail on the bed. They're really cool. Something that I didn't anticipate a whole lot, but you know, having these gauges here, the speedometer and the tachometer, it's kind of nice to see where I am with the tach, because it's obviously a lot quieter outside of the truck, so now I can see based on the tach if I need to change gears or not. I mean, I'm not going to go any higher because I'm already in 10th, but yeah, because we're already over 60. We're about at 65. Really cool trailer, though. Definitely digging it. So the trailer, it's on sale for $35 on Pizzster's site. But if you own the 389 and you are on Pizzster's Discord, then you can get a pretty sizable percentage off and get it a little bit cheaper than that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the code right now, so I'm not going to. So if you have the 389, make sure you get over to Pizzster's Discord. That way you can get all the benefits from having the 389. And as far as I understand, if you put in the code that you can find on the Murray section of Pizzster's Discord, then you can just type that in and it applies when you're checking out on Pizzster's website. So pretty cool little discount. Always does kind of a loyalty discount. Gotta love that. So a little bit of update on buttons and dashboards and stuff. Thanks again to Dan, on who I found on Goggles 56's Discord, for helping me figure out all the details on all these different buttons, all the different wiring configurations, and actually got this new button. I'm still just using the arcade USB encoder, and I figured out how to get a rocker switch. Actually found it was a help from Dan, but it was also this other YouTube video who kind of showed how it all gets put together. And apparently, I think it's a little bit different whether you have a toggle switch or whether you have a rocker switch. It changes. It's a little bit different in the wiring, because I tried to use the wiring that Dan had given me based on a toggle switch, but it's completely different if you have a rocker switch. Anyway, I will leave a link down below to the YouTube video that I saw that showed how to wire it together, rather than just describe it to you right now. But what you're gonna want, it's a 3-position rocker switch with a spring-loaded return, so you can either go up to have it do a button, let it go, and it'll return to off, or you can press the button on the bottom, it'll return back to off. So it is it's a DPDT, dual pole, dual throw, I think is what it's called. Yeah, three button or 3-stage momentary on off on rocker switch. Yeah, all that. I'm sure you got all that. Just trying to focus on driving and trying to remember all that. I had another button and it's not working. Maybe you guys have more information about it, but I figured out, because it said, I thought it was a dual pole, dual throw momentary switch, like an on-off-on, just like this. But it actually turns out that it is a momentary on-off, momentary on, and that's something different than momentary on-off-on. So it wasn't able to do it, so that needs completely different wiring. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to use that button, to tell you the truth, or that rocker switch. So I've got the new rocker switch, and what's crazy is I got it plugged into the USB encoder, and it works just fine, just like the video described. And so I'm trying to use it for... God, that Jake is so loud. It is so loud. That's the only thing that kind of gets on your nerves a little bit with this engine, because I love the sound of this engine. Totally love it. But that Jake is just like, it is full blast right in you. In any event, yeah, so I got the button hooked up. It's actually kind of complex how it's wired, at least compared to what I thought it was going to be. And it works just fine. Tested it. Actually applied it to the left windshield, or the left window in the game, and it works just fine. And so I did another button, because I got 2 of them, wired it the exact same way,
And then turn right.
and it won't work. So this one, if I press it, if I toggle it up,
Turn right.
then it does something, and I toggle it, so I actually toggle it down and the windows go down. Then I go up and the window goes down, or the window goes back up. So it's working pretty good, but now I wired it exactly the same with the second one, and maybe it's something to do with my wiring, or it's a bad switch. So tomorrow I have another switch coming, so that I can figure out, is it the switch or is it my wiring? But I didn't expect that. I was really happy to finally get the wiring done, and then I did a second one because I have to address the right window as well, and nothing happened. So kind of bummed on that. So we got about an hour left, but just wanted to kind of give you an update on that. And once we get to the delivery, I'll actually show you in the camera what it looks like. Show you what I'm talking about in case you're not familiar with momentary rocker switches, on, off, on, all that kind of stuff. Kind of getting into the specs of it. But I'll show you once we drop everything off. We gonna clear the bridge? I think so. Just fine. Just fine. Let me know what you guys think of the trailer. And if you guys are thinking about picking this up from Pizzster, or if you have any questions or anything before you go ahead and pick it up. I'm a big fan. I like all the loads. They've got, just like the other trailers, some that are dirty and used, some that are clean. Detail's good on all of them, just like you would expect from the Wade step deck, just like you would expect from the other Lowboy, the Rogers. I was kind of blanking on the name for a second there, but a lot of good detail. Highly recommend it. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing any experimental beta 1.5. I tried it a couple days ago. I actually ran into a few snags. I thought I did everything kind of by the book, and I cloned profiles and only used those profiles in 1.5. And I got everything down to about only 40 mods, and I was never able to get it to load. It was always a crash to desktop. And then on top of that, I went back into one of my profiles that is for 1.49, and
Right. And then exit right.
all of my trucks and trailers were gone. So I've got to start completely over.
Exit right.
And one thing that I suspected, that wasn't supposed to happen. Obviously, that you just lose every truck and trailer in your whole profile.
Turn left.
I got you, Morgan. I got you. Between Morgan and this Jake, I'll tell you in a minute. There we go. A little bit of traffic to get by. But yeah, I lost all the trucks and trailers in there. And then I thought, well, let me be extra safe. So I didn't use that profile in 1.5 at all. Yeah, you just go ahead and wait for me. Sometimes traffic is just non-existent, and sometimes it'll just have you sitting there for 20 minutes. Doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. Trailer damage. Oh, I hit the side. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, so that can happen.
Turn left.
Told you I hit something before. Barely missing on these signs.
Turn left.
So yeah, I didn't. Again, the profile that I lost all the trailers and trucks and trailers in, I didn't use that in 1.5 at all. But it did end up affecting it. So I got to start all over.
400 meters. Turn left.
And then, so I tried another profile once I had reverted back to 1.49, and before I did one thing that actually I think helps. I verified all my files. And when I verified my files, I think that's the reason, my other 1.49 pre-existing profiles did not lose all of their trucks and trailers. So, if you're going to go back and forth between the two,
It's been my honor and duty to see you through this mission.
and you're going to try the beta, and you're going to turn it off and select no betas, before you go back into a 1.49 profile that you have, just go ahead and verify the files. I think that's going to be the fix. And don't do what I did and lose an entire profile. That probably isn't supposed to happen, but that's what happens sometimes. Alright, well, we are here in Pocatello at the Lennar, dropping off this dump bed. Not too bad. Go ahead and hit our four ways again so you can see the flashing lights. That was pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the drive. Let me know if you have any questions about the trailer. Let me know if you have any insight here on this button too. Let me go ahead and show you. I don't think it's hooked up. Yeah, it's not hooked up. Let's see what that looks like. So it is a... Where is it? Okay, so you can see it's got one on top and two on the bottom. So you can... And it's right now, it's stuck in the middle position, which is off. So it'd be on, off, on. And so if I click this, it'll spring back, it'll let go, and it'll spring back to the middle. That's what makes it momentary. And that button does something, and this button does something completely different. That's how it's wired up. Again, I'll also leave you a link to the YouTube video so you can see what's going on, because it does involve a jumper wire from one side over to the other. I wouldn't have thought that it would have needed it, but it does. And so now that it's there, it's good. I just need to check it on my second switch that's coming tomorrow, and then I can figure out if my other switch is just defective or it was my wiring. It's my first attempt at wiring here, just the ignition and then this rocker switch, so I'm not gonna rule out my wiring, but I was pretty careful, and again, it's wired exactly the same as that one. It just won't work. Maybe it's a bad switch and I can return it, but I will find that out by tomorrow, what I'm going to do with that. Anyway, thanks for coming along for the drive. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all my videos, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.